And I remember driving into town. Everything I knew and remembered about the town was gone.
That's the whole history of our village has been intermittent with flooding.
How could we describe flooding in August of 2009? Devastation, fear, panic, disaster.
Seeing how the town changed, it was really hard. Losing your home, losing your car, just losing your family you don't want to have anybody you know go through that. And it could happen again.
Cloudburst of thunderstorms and a broken dam sent a wall of water streaming down the streets of the village in Cattaraugus County.
This community was devastated in August of 2009. Gowanda got basically 7 inches of rain in a 90-minute period of time. We lost lives of our community members. We lost businesses that were ruined and never came back. We lost a hospital, and suddenly, in the course of one day, it was gone.
When it started raining, it was in the middle of the night, and it started flooding that little dip around my house. My dad was wearing these waders that came up to his waist, and he had to carry each one of us from my house up to my neighbor's that lived up on the hill because her house wasn't flooded. And I remember just being in my pajamas. I was terrified because I didn't understand why we had to leave. I remember my mom, we were driving through and you could just see mounds of mud on the side of the road. And there were people everywhere. Everyone was outside of their houses. There was garbage and wood and play places and trampolines just strewn about the town. And it took a long time to clean up, and people were living in the school because all of their houses got destroyed. And it was really tough.
So my experience with the 2009 flood started sometime around midnight. I woke up, got out of bed. When I got out of bed, the water was already knee-deep in my bedroom.
And I wasn't certain if the whole house was going to get washed away.
I was displaced from my house for about a year after the flood, but I mean, I was there for the first 3 or 4 weeks. I wasn't able to work or anything. I just was down here trying to work and ended up being able to bring wheelbarrows through here and using snow shovels and trying to shovel all the crap out at first. Then we ended up having to gut the house out completely to the studs.
Every once in a while we hear a rumble of thunder, but the worst appears to be over in Gowanda. That's as long as it doesn't start raining again.
Thatcher Brook is the body of water that floods the village. If we could find a way, when water level rose to the point where it was going to be dangerous, to divert that high water out to Cattaraugus Creek before it gets to the village, that solves your problem.
So the Buffalo District Army Corps of Engineers is looking to help the community by implementing a flood risk management project. So Thatcher Brook, which you can see behind me, runs right through the village of Gowanda. We would look to implement a diversion channel where we're able to divert some of the waters when high water events occur around the village into Cattaraugus Creek to help keep waters down, Thatcher Brook waters down as it moves through Gowanda. Approximately, it's been estimated that approximately $90 million worth of damages were done in 2009. If you fast forward that to today's dollar value, you're looking at approximately $120 million of damages from that single event. We've completed a feasibility phase for this project where we've come up with a viable plan. We're now entering the design phase where we'll take that plan, further refine it, and That will culminate with the development of plans and specifications that we could provide to any qualified contractor to implement the project. The project to implement from here and moving forward would cost approximately $10.5 million, and our projects from here moving forward would be cost shared. So 65% of that cost, or $6.8 million, would be covered federally, and the remaining 35%, approximately $3.7 million, would be covered by our non-federal partners in the New York Department of Environmental Conservation and the village of Gowanda.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been an instrumental part of our planning, working in partnership with the New York State DEC and the village of Gowanda, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand. You can beat us down with floods, economic difficulties, tragedies, and the community always comes back and fights for their town.
Actually having the project happen, I know it's been up in the air for a very long time and people know about it, and seeing that actually come to fruition, I think it would bring the community together even more, because everyone would be working towards this common goal of preventing another disaster.
This effort to be able to help with the flood mitigation in the village is a huge thing, and the flooding has always been part of the village, but it's an achievable goal to be able to solve it with this.
You know, we've gotten to know a lot of the people here in the community, and we hear a lot of these stories of impacts and tribulations and of resilience. And we're hoping that we could take these stories and have people remember them, but sort of replace them in the future with stories of how storms were able to roll in and the community here felt safe, which they haven't felt for decades.